Hey everybody, welcome to Show and Tell. I'm here today with Joe Kennedy from Smith's Detection. Hi Joe.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thank you. I'm excited to talk to you today because I want to hear more about Smith's Detection. Please let's start out with a quick introduction. Tell us all about it.
Sure. Okay, so just a general overview. Smiths Detection is a technology company, and we're a global leader in the development, manufacture, and application of different threat detection and screening technologies. So we work across a number of different markets. Today, obviously, the main focus is going to be on aviation, but we also make technology for ports and borders, for the defense market, and what we call urban security, which essentially covers everything else we do, like corporate security, mail screening, courthouses, stadiums, and things of that nature. So we make threat detection technology for a huge range of threats, including what everyone knows, X-ray, all the way to like chemical and biodefense technology. So the main mission is to make the world a safer and more secure place. We develop innovative solutions and provide services to protect life, safeguard society, and uphold the free flow of trade. So not just to like quote our mission statement off our website, but the company really strives to impress that mission upon our employees and our customer base because it really is a main reason we do what we do. I think we have a pretty passionate workforce, and we continue to innovate in this space, in the threat detection space, because the people working here and the people we support with our technology understand the importance of our mission. It definitely keeps me engaged and passionate about what we do. And it aligns, I think, extremely well with the main market we're talking about today, which is aviation. So aviation security has always been a cornerstone of Smiths Detection's identity, and it's really an awesome industry to have such a large part in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been in the aviation industry for many years myself, and it's been fascinating to see how technology has evolved. Can you
Yep.
tell us a little bit more about some of the latest technology in passenger screening and security?
Sure. Yeah. There's a number of really cool, innovative security technologies being deployed in airports, from new kinds of body scanners to like the facial recognition tools you see at some airports. But for security screening in regards to Smith's products, the latest technology being deployed for passenger screening is a different type of X-ray technology than what's historically been used at the checkpoints to screen carry-on baggage and personal belongings. So it's called computed tomography, which is referred to as CT for short. Outside the aviation and security industry, people are probably familiar with it from medical applications that's been used in the medical field for a while. For airport checkpoints, the industries typically had to rely on like two-dimensional X-ray images when looking at bags and personal belongings. So think of viewing a bag from the bottom up, or maybe from like the side across. You're getting a two-dimensional picture of the contents from different angles. And that's mainly because the X-ray generators that are actually shooting the X-rays through the bags in the machine are static in one spot. CT technology allows TSA officers to view images in 3D. So the X-ray generator is actually rotating around the belt in the bag, and it creates a full 3D image. So with 2D images, if something's hard to see, or maybe it's blocked by like a dense object, the item either needs to be repositioned and screened again, or maybe manually searched, which is why I see bags being pulled out and manually searched, because there's something blocking their view of a potential threat. That's also why we're required to remove laptops and liquids from bags prior to screening at a checkpoint. So now with 3D X-ray images, the TSA officers can rotate the image in any direction on the computer monitor. They can see all views of an object, behind, above, below dense objects. They can slice through layers in the image and really manipulate it in a way that allows them to get a much clearer picture, and that allows them to make more informed decisions on what may or may not be a threat.
That's really smart. I can imagine. I'm thinking about what it's like, from the medical side to get a CT scan
Yep.
and how that can really benefit passengers and airports. Can you talk a little bit more about some of those benefits?
Yeah, for sure. So there's a number of benefits this technology can bring. The main goal for TSA, for the airport, for the passengers, and for Smiths is always first and foremost safety. So we want to make sure passengers and workers are safe and flights are secure. That's the mission of our company that I was talking about earlier. That's the mission for TSA and the main reason for this technology. Second, as with a lot of other products and services in airport, is the passenger experience, right? How can we make the checkpoint easy and fast? So one way to do that is by reducing what we call false alarm rate. So the CT technology provides security personnel with more information about what's being screened, and offers a really amazing image quality for an X-ray. So what they do is provide essentially an automatic explosives detection and object recognition capability. So what that does is it assists operators that are looking at the screen in making quick and well-informed decisions. So a false alarm means the X-ray might suggest something might be a threat, and the TSA officer decides to do a deeper inspection of the bag to find whether there is or is not a real threat. And if there's not a real threat, then that's considered a false alarm, right? So this slows down the whole screening process. With the better imaging technology and improved algorithms on our CT, it's much more efficient and it's much more accurate in identifying potential threats, and it gives a TSA officer the information they need to determine very quickly whether a threat may be present without doing secondary screening. And then allowing passengers to leave liquids and electronics in their bag, since it can provide a 3D image. A dense object like a laptop can't block something that's underneath or above it. And this may seem just like a convenience factor for travelers, right? When you go to some of these new lanes, you don't have to take your laptop out. It's like, oh, this is nice. I don't have, which is, it's true. And that's one of the goals, to improve the passenger experience. But it also significantly reduces the amount of time it takes to actually screen passengers. So they use less trays, since everything can remain in one tray. You're not pausing in line, taking your laptops out, taking everything out of your bag and separating it into another bin. So the time that it takes the passenger to actually divest all their belongings is significantly shorter on the front end, and on the back end when they're taking their stuff back off the conveyor. So this also means the number of bins, actual like bins and images going through the X-ray, is reduced significantly. So that creates less actual images that the TSA offers have to screen. And it creates less bins to transport through the unit and less overall time to get every passenger's belongings through the checkpoint. And for our unit specifically, which is the 6040 CTiX, it has the fastest conveyor belt speed on the market. So that further speeds up the screening process because items are actually moving through the machine at a faster pace. So the security piece is necessary, right? It's not going away. No one necessarily looks forward to the checkpoint portion of their journey. It's always a little bit of a stress. But the goal is to reduce the stress and speed up the process while not sacrificing safety. So passengers and workers should feel safer. They should actually be safer, and they should have a more convenient and enjoyable experience, right? Airports and airlines spend a lot of time and a lot of money and effort on creating a great passenger experience for travelers. And we want to get them through the checkpoint quickly so they can go enjoy the restaurants, shops, everything else that modern airports have to offer, while they can be confident that they're having a safe and relaxing journey. So that's what this new technology can help bring. And in addition to the functional improvements, I also want to mention that our CT unit, the 6040 CTiX, uses the least amount of power compared to other products. So reduced energy consumption can help airports get closer to a lot of the sustainability goals that are being set and save on some operating costs.
As a frequent passenger, I can tell you that that sounds wonderful, because nobody wants to spend time in the security line. They want to get through safely and securely and relax.
Exactly.
So I've heard about this program where the airlines can actually fund these CT scanners for the TSA. Am I getting that right?
Yeah. So it's called the CAP program, the Capability Acceptance Process, also referred to as the gifting program. So traditionally, the TSA purchases X-ray systems periodically through large purchasing contracts and deploys them to airports around the country. They still do this. It's not changed. In fact, Smith just won a pretty large award from TSA to provide our 6040 CTiX with our I-lane, and I can talk a little bit more about what that is for TSA to deploy. But the number of systems and the location of where these units will be installed is dictated by TSA budget, TSA resources, TSA timeline. And this is really, it's a massive undertaking, both operationally and financially for the TSA. And they openly comment that that'll probably take years to outfit all the US airports with this next gen CT technology at the checkpoints. So the TSA created a program where stakeholders can accelerate these deployment timelines by purchasing units directly. So it can either be the airport or it can be the airline. It depends on what makes sense for the whatever situation they're leveraging this program. So, like I said, it's called the Capability Acceptance Process, or it's referred to as the CAP program, or TSA gifting is also what it's commonly called. So it just provides a mechanism for an airport or an airline to outfit their terminals with the newest technology on their own in partnership with the TSA. So there's still a list they're allowed to purchase off. So they still have to purchase TSA qualified units. They can't just buy anything. They have to get it approved by TSA. But if an airport's doing a major renovation, for example, or building a new terminal, or if an airport or an airline thinks that there would just be a benefit to upgrading their technology sooner, they can participate in this program and accelerate that process. So that's the main example of where airports are taking advantage of this program is for checkpoint CT units. There are other units outside of the checkpoint that you can technically leverage this program to purchase, like the hold baggage scanners for checked bags under the airport. And there's a lot of information on the TSA website about this program. They have a really helpful team dedicated just to supporting this program. And we've been working through this process with a number of airports already. So we have some good experience on the process and can definitely support some questions specific to our equipment that can be purchased through this program. The main one being what's called our high scan 6040 CTiX, which is our checkpoint CT unit.
That is a nice gift. I'm picturing it with a big ribbon wrapped around it.
It is a nice gift, yes.
So last question for you is, how is Smith's detection helping airports to screen employees?
Yes, it's a big one recently in the industry. I was at a conference a couple weeks ago in Seattle. I'm not sure if you were there, where they were talking about this a lot. So historically, airports have not been bound by TSA security regulations when it comes to screening airport employees, but that's definitely starting to change. There's recently an amendment signed by TSA for aviation worker screening. So I don't think it's been fully defined yet what's actually going to be required by airports. So we're tracking that very closely as it evolves. But we are preparing for new security screening requirements for aviation employees. So this is a large lift for a lot of airports, both financially and I guess physically, that they haven't designed actual space in for an employee checkpoint. So I think there's going to need to be some creative ideas on how to implement this effectively. And I think Smiths can really help make an impact here. I mentioned at the beginning, we're a global company and we work in a number of other markets. We manufacture a pretty wide range of X-ray systems with various sizes and capabilities, and we've created custom solutions for customers outside of aviation. So we have a great deal of experience in what does and does not work, what's more efficient while not sacrificing safety. If there are space constraints, we can help. So questions on the most efficient setup, what kind of X-ray, what kind of AI can we implement in that X-ray to help operators be faster and more accurate? So we've been doing this for a really long time. I think we're have a lot of expertise in helping our customers plan and integrate new security screening equipment into facilities. And we have a massive service footprint, especially with airports, that allows for localized service and support. So I think we're really well positioned to help airports start to implement this quickly and effectively. We have the technology and expertise, and we have a really great team to support the ongoing operations as we always have. So as the requirements evolve and we understand, what airports need, we're definitely well positioned to help.
Excellent. Joe, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Really fascinating stuff. Can't wait to see what Smith's Detection is going to do next.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for having me.